If you're watching this video, you've probably booked a meeting from someone from our team about our website development under the government grant. This is going to be a very quick video just going some frequently asked questions so that you can save your time on the call itself. What is the price of your website revamp packages? You can take a screenshot if you want of all of this. All of the prices are either 50% or 90% government funded, and you can think of the word government funding as discount from government. This means, for example, for the $5,900 package, if you have 50% funding, then you will be paying $3,100 out of pocket costs, which means this is how much you'll actually spend, and the government will cover the difference between 5.9 and 3.1. Likewise, if you get 90%, then your out-of-pocket costs will only be approximately $590 for the 5.9K package. I have an existing website. How will your company do the website revamp to ensure that my existing website is not affected at all? You will develop your website on a staging domain, so this may be demo.wizconsultancy.com, and this is where we're going to build up your new design, all of the new functionalities, all of that kind of stuff. And so your existing company's website, like constructioncompany.com, will not be affected in any way, shape, or form. After the entire website is done and after you sign off on all of the forms, then we will kind of do the website migration over to your actual domain, and that process may take around 2 hours usually, depending, and we will typically do that on a Friday or Sunday night so that your customers are not affected when they go and visit your website. What is the difference between the different website packages? Because the company has 3 website packages and they're all set by the government, it differs on basically like the scope of work, the number of pages that you require. It also differs on whether you need a template or custom website design. For our case, I always will recommend you to speak to someone from our team, kind of tell them the number of pages you require, all of the information, and then we can kind of give you a rough idea and give you a recommendation. My colleague will be the one doing all of this on the call or Zoom that you have. How can I get the 90% government grant funding? This is a very frequent question that we get, and unfortunately this really depends on your UEN specifically. So for example, like some business owners that I meet, they have 2 or 3 UENs and companies, and one of the UEN has 90%, whereas the other 2 do not have 90%. And how we check is that we can basically help you to go to this .gov.sg website to log in using your COP pass and to see whether you have this 90% blue color box over here. We can only help you to check if you have this 90% blue box, but we cannot apply for it. We can only help you to check, and this is basically determined by what the government wants to give you your UEN. Are there any other costs involved with the website development? So for our case, like after the website, you have 2 options. You can choose to either like maintain and do everything with your website on your own. In that case, it's $0 extra cost. We will give you training, and we will also send over to you 10 to 15 pre-recorded training videos that you can rewatch at any point in time that you want. Aside from that, there is also like website hosting, which is basically like your domain, your emails, like for example name at constructioncompany.com, like where do you want your emails to be hosted on. So the company does provide website hosting, and the price depends on whether you want 20, 40 gigabytes, etc. But if say for example like you watching this already have an existing website, you will not need like our web hosting services. What will happen if there are any sort of issues after the website is completed? For this case, like it is quite rare that we'll face any sort of issues after the fact, but like first and foremost, we only live the website as soon as all of the completion forms are signed off that you will have to sign off on. Number 2, every time we live a website, we'll always keep a backup on Google Drive just in case any sort of issues happen. We can always restore the backup. If you have any other questions after watching this very short video, no worries about it. Whoever you'll be speaking to, either on a Zoom or in person or phone call, will kind of like answer any sort of questions that you have in greater detail. This is just meant to be a very short video to give you all of the frequently asked questions.